I'm here with Barry Anderson, the administrative manager of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, and just going to ask him a few questions, and he's going to share with us what that means, and especially what that means in regards to when the choir goes on tour.
There's really 5 things that we look at. First of all, are there venues where we're going, and are there people? That's the second thing that would come and be the audience. And then if we find that, then is there places to accommodate all the choir? Are there hotels? Can we feed them? If that's a yes, then can we transport them from place to place, and how do we do that? And if that's a yes, then we take a look at things like, is it safe? Is it is it a place that we ought to have the choir? Are we putting anybody in danger? This particular tour that we're going out on, the Atlantic Coast Tour in 2015, really came about because a conversation that I had with Mac Wilberg a number of years ago, and I said, Mac and I are about the same age, and I said, someday we're going to retire from here, and we ought to make sure that we're not old men sitting on a park bench somewhere and say, oh, we should have done this, or we should have gone to this venue, or I wish we would have done this. So I told Mac, I said, tell me the places that you would like to go to. And he gave me a list of places, and a number of them are on this particular tour. So once we get the concept done, then it's a matter of I contact venues in the areas and kind of put together a little tour map, a site plan, if you will. Find the hotels. There's some things that we've learned over the years. It's hard to move 600 people around every day. It's just hard on them to pack up and put their bags out and get on a bus and travel. And so we've done some things. We actually try to home base the choir so that they can come back and they can sleep and they can get their rest and those kinds of things. And so we etched this tour out. We build an advance itinerary where we can go and see all of these different venues and meet with the people and see if the logistics will work. And then we go out. And this is all done about 2 years in advance of the tour. So we no more had the 2013 tour finished than we were out in September of 2013, and we flew to Washington, D.C., and we drive every single part of it. And my philosophy is we should pick venues and go out and make a splash. From Washington to Boston isn't that far, especially over a 2-week period. And so I've tried to cut it down so that you're not on the road for these long periods. If we go more than 2.5, 3 hours, then we'll stop and have a break. That's a problem too. I mean, on the 2003 tour, we came into New York and we were maybe an hour away from the city, and we needed to have a break. And so I never have all 11 hit the 7-Eleven, you know what I mean? And but we had 4 or 5 buses, and we do all that on the advance. Here's where these 4 buses are going to stop at this rest stop. These 4 are going to stop a couple, miles up the road. But we don't do anything fast. I mean, just to get off and have everybody go to the restroom, it's a good hour. And so I try not to do that because it's a lot of time down, but people do have to get up and rest. Anyway, we went in. People went through this little convenience store, and we were trying to make sure we were getting ready to leave. So we were trying to make sure we had everybody back on the bus. So the president of the choir, Matt Christensen, and I, we went back in to make sure we hadn't lost anybody. And as we went in, I looked around this little convenience store, and everything was gone. I mean, the soda machines were empty. The ice cream was all gone. I mean, there were like things just kind of swinging on the pegboard, And this guy was like, who are you people? And I said, well, this is the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. And he said, are you coming back this way? I have no inventory left. And with a group this size, you don't want to be changing your plan. You want everybody going the same way. We did a thing at the inaugural of the governor, and they had all of these volunteers that were going to help us get the choir through. And I said, the secret is if you get the first 5 people going the right direction, everybody will follow. But boy, if those first 5 go the wrong way, you've got a mess on your hands. So that's why we're doing it. This is how we're doing this. Follow the itinerary. We're not going to switch gears, halfway. So this choir group is an interesting group because I liken it to a very delicious pie. You have a lot of people who do all they can in their piece of the pie. Administrative people, staging people, the audiovisual people, the people who stage people on the stages where we go. All of those people, if they know what the objective is and how it's going to all come together, they just work so hard to make sure their piece is just right. And what you end up seeing is the result of all of that. So just before a concert starts, and I might be backstage and thinking, okay, I'm always thinking 2 or 3 days ahead. We've got this far, this is going to come off. We've got to make sure that we get to the next critical thing or whatever that might be. And I just kind of sit and think, nobody has any idea what it took to get to this. So I kind of can just sit back and say, and look at the people that are enjoying the music and think, that's my little piece of the pie. Making sure that everything got to this point so that people could hear the choir and feel the Spirit. Everything is taken care of. Try to take care of all of the musicians and the directors so that all they have to do is sing. So they can, that's what we sell, is music. Over the years, we've built in things so that itinerary is constant and it's repetitive. And what we do is we arrive somewhere, we arrive at a hotel past the hour when it's busy. We go right in, we have a nice meal, we explain what's going on. They go to their room, there's their luggage, they get a good night's sleep, they've been well fed, and the next day they know all I got to do is follow what this says. I just have to get on the bus at that time, and that same thing will be repeated. And it calms them down. Because there's some adrenaline that goes on with a group like this, especially those first few days. But we try to get them into a groove that everything's taken care of, and all you need to do is rest and sing. When I see people catch the vision of that, we're not there on vacation, and we're not there to sightsee, although there's some of that happens. But people who focus in and say, "Hey, we're here to sing," just like a guest artist. I try to treat them like guest artists. And all they have to do is get up and sing. At the end of this tour, if we've sung great concerts at Strathmore, Bethel, Carnegie Hall, Saratoga, the Wang Theater in Boston, we've had plenty of people there, the choir has delivered what only they can deliver, then that's success.